This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, here we are with another beautiful sunrise. So good, in fact, I can hardly believe my eyes. When I look at it, I feel so wise. I feel myself. I don't need a disguise. Good morning, everybody, from the Masai Mara here in Kenya. My name is Patrick, and joining me on camera today is Manu. Now, if you have any questions or comments throughout this drive, please use that hashtag SafariLive and the YouTube chat stream. So I'm just going to stay with this sunrise for another few minutes or so while we get this day started, and I'll tell you my plans for this drive. Another round of applause for that rap. It just comes over me in the morning. So the plans for today is to go down and look again for the Owinos. I'm going to be searching a little bit wider today. We kind of only did a narrow search yesterday and really only checked out the dens. So I'm going to have a little bit of a poke around for them. And then after that, well, I'm not sure. I think I might make it up as I go along if I don't find them. But of course, I sincerely hope I do. And I also sincerely hope that you are all very much enjoying the beautiful scenery, the rolling plains of the Masai Mara. Absolutely wonderful. No better way to start the day. So I'm going to move off. Everyone saying this is gorgeous. It really, really is, isn't it? I've said it countless times that it is just breathtaking every single day. We are so blessed, so blessed to be out here in such a unique and wonderful part of the world where pretty much everywhere you look there is beauty. Absolutely everywhere. It's just a photographer's dream, really. Alrighty, off we go for the morning in search of some lions. I'm going to send you back down, well, not back down to Juma. I'm going to send you down to Juma to say good morning to Miss Jamie Patterson.
Good morning. I'm afraid I'm not nearly as creative or indeed well prepared as Patrick up in the Masai Mara. I haven't prepared a morning welcome rap for you. I've greatly disappointed you all, I know. Kirsty's actually weeping as we speak into my ear. But a very good morning. My name is Jamie, and this morning Sebastian is on camera with me. Seb is back. Welcome back, Seb. Woo!
Thank you.
He's been enjoying beach times and island times in Reunion. So we're very happy to have him back. I'm not sure how Seb feels.
It's good to be back.
Is it good to be back?
Very good.
That's good.
I miss the bush.
That's good. Seb says he misses the bush. So that is a welcome relief. We're happy to hear that Seb is not going to pack up everything and open a surf shop. We were a little bit concerned, but he has returned to us, which of course also means that the drone returns to us as well. Something we're all thrilled about. And an extra hour early in the morning. No, I'm joking. We are excited to get back out there with the drone. Practice makes perfect. We're going to get it right. So this morning, we were actually meant to be on bushwalk. In fact, I'm even wearing my white armband, although I think it's disappeared somewhere off my sleeve. But we decided on the basis that it was dribbling. Well, it wasn't really raining, it was dribbling a little bit earlier. And the sky looked so heavy, we decided it might be better for us to go on drive, because we figured might as well save time. We're going to end up walking back and going on drive anyway. So we thought we'd save ourselves some time. But now, as you know, anything that I say about the weather turns out to be the complete opposite. If I say it's going to rain, it doesn't. If I say it's not going to rain, it pours down and we get soaked. So it looks like it might actually clear up, in which case I sincerely apologize, but I have my own mission in mind. It involves heading to the area where Tlalamba was seen yesterday. Kirsty's caught me out. She said, what happens if I say that it's not going to snow? Because, of course, it's not going to snow here. No matter what happens, it is not going to snow here. Certainly not today. at least. Okay, fair, Kirst. That's like tying a piece of toast to the back of a cat, you know. One of those weird little universal laws. The same applies for when directors want to come to us. We're always in an area that driving towards it is going to mean no signal. And additionally, if they try and link to us with a bird, it's gone. Cole's law. No, I'm not sure it quite works that way. I was merely saying that I'm about as inaccurate as the average weatherman. The average meteorologist. Somewhere out there we have a viewer who's a meteorologist who's deeply, deeply offended that I would say such a thing. In which case I'm really sorry. I mean no disrespect. So what we're doing is we're scanning along the elephant carcass drainage line on our way towards Tlalamba, just because I know that Tingana likes this area. And who knows? Hassan is gone, so he might have come to steal from his daughter instead. Now, there's a very cheeky lady out here. Her name is Trishala, and yesterday she told me that she had the hyenas all to herself while I was away. Very rude.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, I did. I had the hyenas all to myself, and that's exactly where I am. I'm at the den. How are you all? It's so nice to be back from leave. Of course, I'm just going to position myself nicely so we can see, because there are some people here at the den, or some cubs rather. Now, we do have the rain covers on, so it's a bit more difficult to get a good sighting, but I'm so happy to have you all on board yet again. There we go. Now, I do have Special Gendre on camera with me. Special Gendre, yes we do. And there we have a little one. Hey, cute thing. Oh, I'm so excited to be back at the den. Like Jamie said, I did have the den all to myself when they were gone, when she was on leave and Lauren was on leave, so I was spoiled. And then Jamie was good enough this morning to say, go ahead and you go to the den. Hello, Poppet. Now, I thought I saw another cub, but it might have just been this one. Pop their head up on the other side. There you can see the den entrance. Now, we did have a bit of rain this morning, maybe even a little last night. And you can see that it's kind of damp around the edges there. Now, where are you gonna go? Oh, everyone says welcome back. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be back. I think I actually missed you all. I did, but I had a great leave. So now this little one, if only we could get a nice good view. I'm going to assume one of Pretty's cubs. So we are at the Juma clan den. You know the Juma clan. Ah, it is Plonky. Can you see that sort of C or kind of horseshoe on his left thigh there? Hey, Plonks. By far the most curious and mischievous one of the lot. Very, very cute. Now, I did see what I thought was an adult head around here as well. But I'm not sure now. No one's come up, but we do know these hyenas, they are so comfortable with us. Corky could be sitting in this bush and not even lifting her head when she sees us. Oh, I've got a bit of the sniffles. Cutest things. So happy to see them. Now, I wonder where the other two are. Now, I heard that there are other cubs here. Yes, Plonk is so cute. Everyone says Plonk is so cute. He absolutely is. I think that he is, you know, like when you have a gang of kids at school, or even, you know, your brothers and sisters and your cousins, and there's always the leader. He's definitely the leader of the lot, I think. Even though Pretty's cubs are a few, I think a month, older than he is. He was born in September and they were in August, I'm pretty sure. So even though they are bigger or older, I still think Plonk is king of the castle, definitely. Ah, here we have an adult coming. Oh, look at the response. Oh no, it's one of Pretty's. It's Quarks. Is it Quarks? Let's have a good look. No. Really nice. I love to see this. This is their greeting ceremony, of course. Very cool. So what they're actually doing is they're sniffing each other's genitals and they're kind of sort of seeing who's dominant and who's. It's kind of a sign of respect almost. I think of it like that, kind of in a mobster way. Oh, hey, little ones. Wow, they've grown. Hey, you cute things. Very cool, and that they are suckling as well. Stunning. Only problem I'd have with these, with the infrared and looking through it, is it's so hard to tell who's who, but I don't think that's definitely not Quarks. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Everyone's coming out of the den. How cute. Well, I'm going to stick around here for a little longer, see who's who in the zoo here. In the meantime, let's go over to Pat, who has a magnificent sight in front of him.
Well, a very nice roadside sighting here. We have found ourselves a nice herd of elephants. Seems to be a few mothers and they're young. They are very close to us right now. They are giving us a little bit of a sus, but all seems to be pretty good here. Definitely see that this one is a female. Very large female, actually. And we've got some more little bubbers right behind me, isn't there? Oh, it's the best thing to see in the morning is coming out here and seeing that, oh, it's going to suckle. Yes. Yes. Oh, so sweet. So I would definitely think this one is less than a year old. Still breastfeeding there. I love it. I love it how they have to move their trunks up over their head in order to suckle. It just makes it even cuter than it already is. Now we can see that all of the Ellies have a bit of a strut to them right now, and I think that is because they are heading down to this little lugger next to me, and they will probably get themselves a drink. We call that one the water walk, that strut they get when they do come down to water to get a drink. So if they do decide to go down, I think we might be able to get a view of it. Should be very nice. That's my first real proper epic sighting in Juma, was seeing a massive herd of elephants all come and drink from Buffelshoek Dam. And sorry about my head there. And yeah, that was my first real epic sighting in Juma. Very cool. Oh, hello, little one. How are you this morning? How are you getting on? We can see that this one's a male. It's already got its appendage out. This little one there. So that's
Sorry about that, everyone. Apparently Pat disappeared off your screens. That's okay, we're still here, ready to catch you as You fall down. Oh, what we got over there? We're just going to back up a little bit. Obviously, with a live safari, it means that we get all sorts of gremlin issues. Oh, this is going to be tricky, Seb. With roof. Let's. You happy to give it a go? Yeah. Let's give it a go. So we're on the southern boundary, making our way slowly towards Tlalamba. There is a nest there, and it's sort of there. I mean, that's not bad. As bateliers go. And they are tucked up together. 1, 2, 3, which is awesome. I love this particular family of batelier, and I do refer to them as a family because they seem to do quite well when it comes to raising offspring. They live between the southern boundary of Djuma and Batelier Road. And as truly fascinating as a half-gloomy picture of a batelier is, we don't want to keep you away from Pat. He's back, and the Ellies are right next to him.
We are still here with these elephants. I'm just going to stay quiet for a little bit so we can really enjoy the sounds of them all plucking up the grass right now. How lovely is that? They are all around us right now, grazing quite heavily at the moment, as you can all probably hear. There's a lot of munching away happening. Oh, we got more coming up the road. Another mother and a little one. This one looks to be a little bit older. Probably just reaching that 1 year mark, I would say. See, its trunk is starting to get a bit longer, still wobbling about a bit. Very fine young Ellie. I'm hearing that we're getting some very awesome sounds of them eating. I'm very glad. This is just too good to even describe in words, having these intimate experiences with these big mammals. Wow. How cool is this? I am just trying to stay a little bit quieter right now, just so not to disturb them at all, or make them think that we are up to anything silly. But this is just too beautiful. Quite a large herd. They just kind of keep coming. You can see this one streaming a bit from its temporal gland, which is usually a sign, not exactly of stress, but a sign of some form of heightened emotion. You obviously see it quite a bit in musk bulls because of their testosterone levels do skyrocket. And obviously you can imagine that would have quite an effect on the mood of an elephant. I think it's about 6 times the testosterone that they can get in must. It's quite a bit. And being a male, I do know the effect of testosterone on the body, so I could imagine it would be quite a lot to handle. This seems to be the last of the herd coming through now, although I did think that before and more came, so I'm not really sure, but it doesn't seem to be any more on the horizon. Jessica is asking why they swing their trunks back and forth. Well, that is just kind of going with their walking motion. We can see as it moves from left to right, this one here, that the trunk is kind of just swinging around, and they will also be trying to detect smells, so they're always moving it. You can see this one is giving us a bit of a sniff. That is a sign that elephants are a little bit uncomfortable around you, so they will sniff in your direction using their trunk. Now, they have all gone behind me right now, and I just don't want to turn around just yet, so I think we're going to have to stick with my face for a little bit, unless we can have a look at this female here. Oh yeah, just sorry about those bars there. But yes, they have all moved behind me now. think we might be safe to move. So I'm just going to move up the road a bit, then do a U-turn and come back around so we can get a better view of them. Woo! This is my first ever link to Trishala, and I'm super stoked about it. I'm so glad that she's back and found you some hyenas. A very, very good morning to you, Trishala Nadu.
How cool is that? You know, whenever we were training, we'd be like, oh, it'd be so nice to link to each other. So it's really cool to have that link to me. I can't wait to link to him too. So I have just been ambushed by some youngsters. Actually, please excuse the poll here. We have our rain covers on, as I explained. But these guys, I was chatting to Chandra, and these guys just kind of came along the edges. Hey, you hiding? They actually gave me a bit of a shock, which is quite cute. That's why I love coming to the den, isn't it? We have a bit of a family photo going on, or we did, and then they all split and decided to get distracted by me. They're all around us. They're really at this really curious age, which is really cool because you get to see bits of personality. Like we know that with Plonk, he's really, really mischievous, and he's kind of, like I said, king of the castle. So he comes around and he's got this confidence about him. Then we've got the other two older looking cubs here. Pretty's cubs, who have now, I think, taken up residence here. So we have the whole family kind of chilling about here. And of course we have these two little ones at the top that are suckling. Look how spotty they've gotten already. I remember when I left, they were completely black. Shelly wants to know if Plonk babysits the younger cubs. I have seen him, well, I don't know if babysit is the correct term, excuse me, but I have seen him kind of hang about with the cubs, and then not when the adults are not here, then they all kind of get into the den. But when they are here, I've seen Plonk kind of, you know, babysitting is a strong word. I think he's more entertaining himself by kind of having fun with them and bullying them, of course, but not really babysitting as in, oh, adults, please leave me with all the cubs and I'll just take care of them. No, not yet. Oh, look at this little one coming down. Hey, you sweet thing, you've gotten so spotty. So I think that these are June's cubs, who have gotten a lot more spottier. Since, can you see that? So that's Plonk. See what I mean? How he's grabbing them by the scruff. I own you, but I'm your friend still, and I'll play with you, but I own you. Very, very sweet. Again. Oh! Valco would like to know if Plonk will leave the clan. Well, shall we ask this little one here? No, Puppet. No. You've got to go this way. Yes, there you go. Plonk will eventually leave the clan. It's kind of a tough thing for the males, the hyena males, and I do actually feel that it's more tough for the ones that are being who are actually the kids of the matriarch, because now you're here sitting pretty and you're kind of the king, and everyone is kind of looking after you and getting you things, and you are right up there because you've inherited your mother's rank. But at the end of the day, you are going to have to leave the clan, and you do this because you want to be able to mate and you want mating rights. And in your clan, you won't be able to get that as a male. So he will eventually leave, and just keeping an eye on them. They're all over the place. And when he does leave, he'll go to another, or he'll search for another clan, and he'll go around their den and around those adults, and he'll kind of act very submissively around those females, and he will actually get some mating rights in that area. So and when he does do that, his rank will drop right to the bottom. So he'll sort of have to sacrifice his royalty here at the Juma Den for the ability to mate and send his genes into the future. So lots of choices for this young little one. I always have to look over my shoulder in case he's just standing there. No. Look at how sweet that is. I always find it so interesting the way that the cubs perch themselves, or rather position themselves, to suckle from mum. Look at that. Ah, there we have color. We've just come out of infrared. Very sweet. Now you can see what she's actually doing. And of course, somebody has to go and investigate, because that's just how hyena cubs are. What she's doing is she's sort of licking and trying to stimulate that anal gland area, because that is of course how they anal paste, and that's super important for hyenas because that's how they mark their territory, and that's also how other hyenas can tell who's who, by sniffing this. Now we have another little one that's ventured a bit further than normal. I think he's following in the footsteps of Plonk there. Hey, little one. Are you also going to become a mischievous thing? Now look at Pretty's cub at the top. Oh, she was also kind of playing around there and also licking the June's tiny one there. Oh, can you hear them? Let's just listen. Of course, as soon as I say, can we listen? They stop. Oh, but look at that. Oh, you're a feisty little one, aren't you? Oh, Plonk's got the ear. I feel like a wrestling commentator now. Plonk's got the ear. He's gonna throw down. He's gonna throw down. No, but little one's not giving up. Don't go down. Don't go down. Yeah. This is absolutely sweet. I think that it's time to invite more people to join us, and a wider audience would love to see this. Welcome everyone. We wanted to bring this wonderful sighting to you all. We are coming to you from Juma, of course, and we're here at the Juma Den. And this is, of course, our hyena den, and it's full of cubs this morning. How exciting is that? I think that's stunning. We have this little one coming right up here, and we've had some kind of sneak up on us as well. Now, like I said, this is the Juma Den, and we have June at the top there. And she is suckling her two tiniest ones. And of course we have 3 older ones here. And they are around, probably in front of or under the car, since they love to be there. Look at that. Hello, you pretty thing. And now look at the way that they're positioned to suckle. Very, very, very cute. Now these little ones that you're seeing there, or this little one, oh, something something just banged the car. Daniel, you'd like to know how old the cubs are when they lose their dark fur. Well, with Plonk, it seemed kind of really late. Now, Plonk is the matriarch's son, and if he comes around here, I will show him to you. And he kind of lost his spots, lost his darkness and gained his spots when he was about 4 months old, which I thought was really quite late, because if you look at these guys, the ones that have kind of suckled at the top there, they were black, completely black a couple weeks ago, and they were only born in Jan, so Jan, Feb, March, so we'll say they're 2.5 months or so. And usually speaking, about that time in about 3 months, that's when they'll lose that dark color and they'll get all these spots. Now, the one that you're seeing lying down there, that's one of Pretty's cubs, and Pretty is another member, another adult from the Juma clan, and this is one of her cubs. And then above that cub, we have the other one sniffing about. Very, very cute as well. Oh, look at that. What have you got? So important. So these animals are born with teeth, and these teeth will actually serve them till they're about 15 months old, and that's when they'll get a set of brand new adult teeth. Hello, we are talking about you. So this is Plonk, the matriarch's son, as I was telling you about, the one who got his spots quite late. But the ones that bloom late are always the best, don't you think? So there he is, kind of gnawing on this little bit of vegetation he's gotten there. Brenda, you want to know if these are actually wild animals? 100%. They're completely wild. They are not fed by us. They're not looked after by us in any way. And we are just here to observe. So they're completely wild, which I think is so cool. Absolutely cool. You get to see them in their right environment. They are in their own space, their own den, and it's all happening completely naturally, which I just think is wonderful. It's also wonderful to see that the wild animals, you know they're wild, you know their behavior as a wild animal, and you still get little things that are so sort of just focused, or they're something that little things just do. And when I say little things, I mean little babies, little dogs, little cats, and little hyenas. They're just completely curious. They'll walk around, they've got no fear yet, and they're totally innocent. Something common in all babies, I suppose. Very, very cute. Just a beautiful sight. Hey, you're climbing all around, Mum. What are you getting off her fur? Bits of food? What is that? Oh, I just saw an eye pop out from the side of the car. Oh, it's so cute. Can you see? Just over there. And that is Plonk ruling the roost, aren't you? You're going there to start trouble. Look at that, a nice family photo. A nice family photo to say thank you all for joining us for this little bit. And if you'd like to continue watching, of course, please just go to YouTube and type in SafariLive and keep on watching, because this is 100% live. And do you really want to miss out? Thank you so much. Oh, just absolutely beautiful, guys. Look at that. Look at the hand over the cub. So cool. Anyway, there's so much happening here. Oh, can you hear them? Man, every time I say, they stop. It's like they know. They're well trained. No, they're completely wild. Anyway, I'm going to stick around. In the meantime, let's go over to Pat in the Masai Mara.
Well, we have come across a little flock of birdies here. Very interesting on the side of the road, and we're just trying to get a proper ID. We're thinking it is the grey-backed fiscal. I thought it also might be the grey-backed shrike. So if anybody can shed some light on this, please do use that hashtag SafariLive or the YouTube chat stream. But I believe this one is the grey-backed fiscal. It is found here naturally in Kenya. A cool little bird. Awesome scenes. I'm still buzzing off that elephant sighting we had earlier. Everyone on this car is buzzing. That was such a great sighting. So I thought, well, why not calm it down a little bit with a little bit of birding. Very nice. Now, I reckon this is a grey-backed fiscal because I believe the shrikes are a little bit smaller than this one. I will wait to see what our viewers do have to say. I know there is some birding enthusiasts amongst you all. Yes, and the fiscal is also known to be quite a social bird. Yes, so James Richard is confirming that it is grey-backed fiscal. So thank you for helping me out there. I definitely trust the word of James. And yeah, that was definitely what I thought as well, that it was a grey-backed fiscal. They are a little bit hard to distinguish between the fiscals and the shrikes. Cool sighting nonetheless. And yeah, as I said, they are a social bird, and we can see here that there is quite a few hanging out all together. Lovely little sighting here on the side of the road. Anyway, still searching for the Owinos. I'm just going to wait for this car to pass before I fall off again. Sorry, you are going to hear some noises of a tractor with a trailer right now. Alrighty, continuing on. Going to keep looking for the Owinos, but it sounds like back down in South Africa, Jamie does have a spotted surprise for you all.
This is the wonderful thing about our live safaris, is that we have so many opportunities to show or tell coming-of-age stories. It really is something special. Oh dear, Seb, I didn't think about that. I know. I positioned us perfectly because of the roof with her so that Seb can film her over the front of the car, but I forgot about the heat waves coming off the engine on a chilly morning like this morning. Never mind. We'll carry on chatting as the little princess looks up and looks around. She's absolutely gorgeous, this cat. She really is a pretty little thing. So those hyena cubs we, of course, are watching grow up. And now, for the very first time, we've seen, well, I say we, Tristan, yesterday, saw Tlalamba make her very first live kill. That does not mean that she hasn't killed other things before this. Of course, we actually know that she has. And we know that she's caught Dacre in the past. But this is the first time that we've actually witnessed it. Oh, Seb, don't you want to go and just pick that tick off the inside of her ear?
Yeah, for sure.
Right
shame.
there. Oh, shame. That is so unpleasant. I just want to go with a pair of tweezers and pull it out for her. I don't think she'd take very kindly to that, though. Maybe as she walks past, you can just blob a little bit of Vaseline or something onto it. Just give me 1 second, guys. Morning. Tristan's not mobile this morning. I didn't know that he'd crossed northwards. I heard he was going east on Ilgari. Can you confirm he did? He crossed north at Weaver's Nest. Sorry, guys, this is important conversation. A-firm, I heard a rumour. Okay, that's awesome. I've been looking in the wrong place because I thought it was further to the east. But once I'm finished with Tlhalamba, I'll come and give you a hand that side. I agree completely. Hopefully we find him this morning. There's rumours going around, folks. There's rumours going around. There was a leopard sighting last night. He crossed onto Juma. He crossed onto Juma at Weaver's Nest Road. I've been looking. This is why it's taken me so long to get to Tlhalamba, because I've been investigating rumours. But it was a male leopard. And it looks as though it was not Tingana. So, make of that what you will. I'm not putting words to what we're all suspecting. I dare not, for fear I be accused of raising hopes. So that's what we're going to do after we finish with Tlhalamba here. Oh, goodness, I'm in hot demand. Sorry, hold on. Morning, Johan, standing by. It's a long weekend, folks. Oh. Oh, heartbroken. Heartbroken. Okay, thanks so much, Johan. All right, perfect. Thanks for clarification. It was Tingana, folks. There's grief on the Game Drive radio. Not grief, I mean, we're always happy to see Tingana. Yes, I know. Oh, goodness, I'm just going to turn this down a little bit. Okay, so a slight overexcitement there, but that's okay. We're sitting with Tlhalamba, and she is equally lovely. I just don't know her as well as I know the young male leopard that I was hoping was making his triumphant return. It's not TV, though. He has a sense of waiting. I think he'll probably wait for TV before he comes back, if he comes back. And Tlalamba's sporting a truly full belly. We can't actually show you what's left of her deka because of the roof and the position that we're in at the moment. But she's eaten most of it. She's made short work of it. All that's really left is a head and a bit of leg left behind. But we were talking about the fact that, you know, this is the first live kill that we've seen her make. We actually don't often see leopards make kills live, or at least most of the time it's hidden behind a bush. But Tristan said that he thought it was quite an extraordinary hunt. It was over in 2 seconds. It was very, very efficient right up until the point that she caught the thing, at which stage she didn't quite know how to go about the whole suffocation part of the process of killing, and she actually got the deka behind the neck, on the back of the neck towards the shoulders. So it took her a little while to get that right, but that's all practice. It's all part and parcel of this whole process of growing up and becoming independent. I don't know where her mum is. Her mum, of course, being my favourite leopard. A special soft spot for her. But I haven't seen her since I came back to work. I don't know where she is. But perhaps Tandi's planning on staying to the east, and Tlhalamba will have this little piece of Juma. Steve spot on with what I was going to say next. Of course, with the tale of any leopard growing up, the big concern is, of course, are they going to stay or are they going to go? And Steve, yes, there's always a chance that she could leave this area. The chances are that she won't, because she's a female and there's actually quite a nice vacuum in this area. So typically what happens with female leopards when they become independent from their mothers is they'll the territories shift ever so slightly. Sometimes the mother gives up a little portion of her territory, but it's not really giving up in the sense of gifting it to their daughters. It just kind of happens that the daughter slots into the neighboring surrounding area, and they all sort of budge up like people trying to squeeze onto a row of seats. They all have to squish up together if there's lots of females. At the moment, there's actually not. that many females in this area. Of course, Shadulu. I suspect what could not damage Tlalamba's chances, but potentially hamper the spread of her territory and probably shift her slightly north is Kuchava. Because I feel personally that Kuchava's under a bit of pressure where she is. She's got Sibuya to the south of her and her mom Tandi. And then, of course, this area here, which is almost a vacuum, because Tandi doesn't spend a lot of time on Djuma. So I think there's a possibility that Kuchava could shift Tlalamba up a little bit. But Tlalamba far less likely to get up and leave the area in the same way that Hosana has done over recent weeks. So with males, they usually disperse at around about 3 years old. They stick around in mom's territory for a bit and then they wander off. And for about 2 years or so, they're nomadic unless they get lucky, until they're big enough to compete for a territory of their own. And of course, Shongile was not far off this age when she disappeared, Hosana's sister, and she didn't manage. The unfortunate reality being she came into conflict with a bigger female in the form of Tandi. Well, Tlalamba is not living up to her name at all. Fortunately, the hyena cubs are providing the morning's entertainment.
My hyenas are definitely being playful. They've now moved off to kind of the... not too far from the den. They're still in view of the den, but they have ventured off just a little bit into the bushes on the side. And you can see them kind of tussling. They have a little stick that they're tussling with. And there is one of June's tiny ones out as well, trying to get in on the fun. Check it out. So adorable. Absolutely adorable. Now, you guys were asking about babysitting earlier, and this is kind of the extent of what we would call babysitting. He's kind of taken charge of the little ones, playing about a bit. Hey, little guy. Oh, excuse our wonderful pole again. We're hoping that it doesn't rain, but it's not looking great. It looks slightly gloomy, so we decided now we'll leave those rain covers on, just in case. Look at how curious they are, walking around, sniffing every little bush. They've even kind of practiced anal pasting a little bit, where they kind of straddle over bits of grass, usually a clump of grass. And they'll deposit an anal secretion on there. Oh, you've had enough and you're going back home. Maureen, you'd like to know if cubs with a feisty attitude can move up in rank. And yeah, I mean, that's a hyena social structure is quite complex, but it's also openly competitive, basically. If they say if Corky, for some reason, maybe she gets injured, she gets unable to be the matriarch that she is now, she's a bit tired, she's a bit injured, someone can definitely come in and just kind of fight her for that position. It's openly competitive, and it's very much, I think, like a mobster sort of situation. You've got a mafia situation going on, and you've got the boss. And if the boss is taken down, they can definitely be overthrown by a successor. So if they're feisty at this age, I mean, they're all kind of pretty much feisty and very curious, really naughty. But that doesn't really mean that as an adult they will be that way either. And unless they have the sort of motivation to take over, especially for female cubs, they'll sort of just be there in the den. but it is openly competitive. So, anything can happen. With the cubs especially, maybe, you're looking at the future matriarchs. You have no idea, do we? Now they have moved off to the other side, so I think I'm going to reposition. So we can get a nice bit of view. Whenever I start up the car, they all sort of look at me and go, "Where are you going? Where are you going?" Just want to go nice and slow so I don't spook them. Even though they're wonderfully brave, they do get spooked. Trent, you'd like to know how many hyenas are in this clan. Let me just park off here and then we can count. And now they have all gone back the other side. Oh, I see June is still here. So let's see if we can... Can you get it there, Chandra? She is just a little bit... Oh, someone's coming. Did you see the way they reacted? Usually they'll react that way when someone's coming along or another hyena is coming along. Okay, guys, let's position the other side again. So you were asking about how many hyenas are in this clan. Well, of course, we have Corky, which I think has just arrived. We have Corky and her little one, Plonk. Then we have Pretty and her two little ones. Then we've got... Just having a look at... there we go. Then we've got June, her two little ones. And that's the den for now, but obviously we still have Intima, sorry, Jandre, and Ribbon. And we've also got the males. With the males we have Saka, Luca, Comet. Who am I missing out, guys? I haven't seen the males in a long time. Yes, Koza. Koza, of course. I think Koza is very pretty. Right, well, this has been very unsuccessful. The cubs have run back in, but we can still see the adults there. Oh, one little one's still out. Yes, I am. Kaz says I'm playing Ring Around the Rosie. I am, absolutely am. And I'm just catching like fleeting glances of them. Anyway, I'm going to see if they're going to hang around. If they do, I will. If not, I will move off. In the meantime, let me send you over to Jamie.
I do feel as though it is truly magnanimous of me to say that Trishala could go to the hyena den this morning, but to be honest, her enthusiasm was completely irresistible. She was so excited to come back from leave and go and see those hyenas that there was absolutely no way I could begrudge her that opportunity, because I was thinking about going to them this morning, but I'm really glad she's having such a special opportunity to catch up with them. Whenever we go on leave, we do find ourselves missing out on certain... I know, Kirst, I know. Kirst says that my kindness knows no bounds. Not sure about that, but yes, absolutely. For Trishala, anything. Her sheer joy at the prospect of going to see them was absolutely wonderful. What was I talking about? Oh yes, missing out on things. When we go on leave, we miss such critical aspects. It's always a little bit upsetting, a little bit galling when all of a sudden, say, not specific example at all, perhaps one goes on leave and the hyena den is found that afternoon. You know, that when that happens, it has a way of ruining one's first day of leave, I'm just saying. Or, for example, I go away to the Masai Mara and Tundi has a cub that then grows up and becomes independent while I was away. I mean, my time spent with Tlalamba has been, gosh, relatively limited. I arrived back when she was just under a year old, and I only saw her a few times. Sufficient, though, for her to worm her way into my heart. Look at your feet. You've got big paws. She does actually have quite big paws. I suppose they were stretched out and open. Kirst wants to know if the moral of the story is one should not leave and one should not leave Juma. No. I see your point. You've trapped me completely there. I guess that is the moral of the story. No more leave. Leave is cancelled. No leave for anyone. Otherwise you miss out on too much. No, well, you see what happens with that is then I go away. I go on leave. I see my friends, and most of my friends at this point have children. And I come back 6 weeks later and the children are sort of double the size they were. Or at least it feels that way. So there's that too. Oh, Seb, there's another one on her head.
Yes, I just saw that as well.
You're neglecting your job here. I'm gonna go run and pluck it off. Oh, don't think she'd take very kindly to that. You can see the engorged ticks that have embedded themselves through her fur and into her skin. They'll be ready to drop off pretty soon. Once they have collected a sufficient amount of nutrients, they will let go, they'll fall off, and depending on which stage of their life cycle they're at, and in the case of this particular type of tick, I would say that's the final stage of their life cycle, they'll then breed, they'll then die off, and the next generation of pepper ticks is just waiting to torture us as soon as we walk past that blade of grass. Pepper ticks, of course, being the tiny, tiny little ticks that look like freckles, and unfortunately are not. I happened to be with Wiem quite recently, driving off-road. Wiem, of course, is a cameraman who used to work at Wild Earth, and we drove through a pepper tick nest and he got covered in them. He even stopped focusing on filming. You know it's bad when Wiem does that. Makeup Girl wants to know if Tundi would take those ticks off her. Yes, potentially. I'm not ready to say yet that Tundi and Tlalamba will never be seen together again. Although I would say that yes, Tlalamba is now independent of her mum in the sense that if anything happened to Tundi, Tlalamba would probably be okay. She would be able to survive. I don't think that means that Tundi won't. She'll probably snarl a little bit at her, but they could potentially still share kills. And the point at which that will stop will be when Tundi has new cubs, which of course I suppose could be any time, given what happened with her previous litter with Tamba 2 years ago. So I think it's a possibility that you could still see Tundi with Tlalamba, in which case, yes, she could groom her, and she could pull those ticks off her, usually using their incisors as the way that leopards will groom each other. There's another one behind her ear. Leopard Girl wants to know if cats can get a tick bite fever. This is, of course, a type of rickettsia. And the answer to that is no. They have an immunity to it. So it's actually the same for humans. If you spend enough time in an area like this and you become exposed to tick bite fever, you get tick bite fever and you recover naturally without the assistance of anything, you will develop a resistance to that particular type of rickettsia, that particular type of tick bite fever. If, however, you go wandering off to a different area, let's say you were to make your way into Botswana, for example, or to Zambia, or even a different part of South Africa, you could actually, oh, it's miserable, it's raining. Well, I'm happy because I've been proved right, because at this point we would have been running for home, so I'm quite chuffed that it's actually raining. So the cats here have a resistance to it in the same way that they actually, you know, at one point about it's probably about 20 years ago, maybe a bit less, maybe about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. There's a massive panic about tuberculosis and what impact it was going to have on the animals of this area. And as it turns out, most of them are actually relatively tolerant. And although a lot of them carry it, and I think it's around 80% of the lions in the southern section of Kruger carry it, most of them don't express symptoms until something else happens that in some way compromises their immune system or their health. So animals do have a natural resistance to diseases. They're certainly more resilient than we are. I haven't had tick bite. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I take it back. I'm not going to say that sentence. Not going to say it. It's just asking for trouble. But I'm pretty sure that I'm resistant to the tick bite fever here. Columbo, you really need someone to get in behind your ears there. Lots of ticks. Oh, shit. It's miserable. It's now properly raining on her. I think any second now she's going to get up, and she's heard something actually, but I think most likely she's going to go and hide under a bush. This is not pleasant. We talk about it being nice hunting weather. Big cats still don't like rain like this, if they can avoid it. And we've gone into a bush. Let's see if we can get a better view. Oh man, my right side's getting wet. Are you okay back there, Seb? Do you need...
Yes, we'll have to close.
We're going to have to close up.
That's fine for now.
You're fine for now? Okay. We are going to have to close up at the back, Seb.
Yeah.
Seb is looking a little damp back there. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move out so we can drop the flap down, and then we'll come back in. While we do that, let's bounce back across to the Masai Mara with Patrick, who is driving somewhere with some intent.
Are you getting comms? Oh, I'm live. I do apologise for that, everybody. So, still looking for these Awinos, and I'm pretty confident that I may just have found them. Now, so I do apologise, I'm still not getting comms. I'm on the right radio channel now. Manu is not getting any, but that's okay. That's fine, because we are near lions, and I know that I did have a question from a Jane, and Jane was wondering what it is like living in the Mara camp. Well, I can tell you that it is absolutely epic. We have these great big sturdy tents. I do love the tent life, and we get to wake up with the sunrise, fall asleep with the beautiful sounds of nature. We get cooked awesome food. I mean, it is just great, and it's healthy food as well. So, you know, it's really easy to stay healthy out here. It's really easy to stay fit because we're so high up. We got that altitude effect, which makes keeping in shape a lot easier. Now, I can see the lions. I just need to come around. Just go see where this path takes me. Also going to try and figure out, are you on Guy, Manu?
Yeah.
And you're getting comms?
No.
Okay. There we go, yeah. I've got the comms back. Oh, a little black-backed jackal. Hello. Oh, they're cool little animals. So I'm just going to come around here. Bear with me. We will be with Lion very soon, in a matter of minutes, seconds even. So I'm just going to come into these guys' track. So I'm just trying to find the tracks here. We do want to follow other cars' tracks, so we are not making too many of our own in the process. Looks like this one has come through here. So I'm pretty confident that this is the Owino Pride. I can just see a head sticking up now. I hope they have their cubs with them as well. That would be absolutely awesome. They did have them with them. Where are you, kitties? It must be quite flat at the moment, and we are in, again, another pretty long grass area, but we are right in Owino territory. Whoop! Sorry, just get a bit of a rock there. There we go. Here they are. Woohoo! Woohoo! What a great morning this is turning out to be. Hello. So here we are. So yeah, this does look to be the Owinos. Sorry, I'm just going to move around a little bit forward. This car in front of me is being very nice and letting me in to the good site, to the good spot. Thank you very much. Oh yeah! Here we are, and this does seem to be the Owino Pride, most definitely. You can see the young male coming in there. He's about 2 years old. I had a great... Oh, still getting a bit of strife there. If anyone saw when I found the cubs the other day, we saw a very similar situation unfold, except it was a little bit closer to the car. Now, there is 2 older females in this pride and 2 younger females. The 2 older ones named Butternut and Lychee, or Lychee, depends where you come from. So happy to have caught up with them this morning. Everyone wants to know where the cubs are. Well, I would like to know that too. So the den site that I was at the other day was pretty close to where we are, but I just can't see any cubs here, so they may be back in a den site. They could still be here too as well. The grass is very long, and we did see a little bit of a defensive kind of action there from one of the Pride members. But yeah, from seeing right now, it doesn't seem like the cubs are with them. But not to worry, we do have Owinos anyway. It's always such a great feeling when you find what you are setting out to find. Even though we have some flat cats, it is much better than no cats at all. I'm just trying to get a good look at the belly of seeing if they've eaten or not. It's a bit hard to tell from this angle. Couldn't confidently say whether they've had a meal recently or not. As for now, well, we've got one head up. Just looking off into the distance though, there doesn't seem to be actually much food around anywhere at the moment. No, actually, not much on the horizon at all. So I'm not sure what they are going to do for the rest of the morning. It is still quite cool. There is a little bit of a breeze keeping things a little bit chilly, but the sun is warming up very quickly. So I will stay with these Owinos and see what they decide to get up to in the morning. And then we're going to send you back down to Juma, with Trishala, who appears to be driving around after her epic hyena sighting.
Well, Pat is so lucky that he gets to stay with these lions. I really want to see lions. Well, I've only been back from leave for one day now, but I've always liked the lions. They always seem to want to mate when they see me. Which, not sure what to think of that, but I'm quite happy to have those sightings. So it has rained quite a bit. It's actually easing up now, but it's gotten really wet, and we've got our rain covers out onto our dash. And of course behind me on Jandre. And somebody here looks not too happy with the rain either. Look at you curled up in a ball. This is Ribbon, as far as I can tell. If you look at her far ear, the one that she's not showing to us, her left ear. There, you can just see the tip of it. Looks very much like the identifying feature for Ribbon. So I think that this is her, and she is of course curled up into a ball, trying to stay warm in her little depression she's created in the ground. Oh, look at your face. Now, the cubs have all hustled back into the den, and now we've just got these two out here. We've got June out as well, and June was sort of slipping. She was in the den, the sort of hole of the den, and then she slipped around in that area. First she was nice and cozy, and then there was a bit of slipping going on when she wanted to adjust herself. Then she slipped a bit more. And then she was like, no, I'm over this, too much rain. And then she walked right off, and she crouched under a bush, and she was like, this is better. So I'm surprised why this little girl hasn't been doing it either. Hey, cute thing, are you enjoying the rain? Squeaky Val, what an interesting question. You want to know if hyenas have any natural predators. Now, hyenas are predators themselves. People often think of them as exclusively scavengers, which they are not. I mean, in the Kruger Park alone, they can hunt up to 50% of their prey, and even in other areas of Africa, even up to 80%. So they are formidable hunters and predators. So they don't just scavenge. Now, who would want to eat a hyena, and who would want to prey upon a hyena? Not very much. But what they are, a sort of aggression between hyenas and other predators. So leopards and hyenas, lions and hyenas particularly. You would have remembered Corky when Corky got attacked by that Avoca male. And that's not really to kill and eat. That is more to kill another predator, thus reducing competition, which is basically what they're trying to do. It's sort of like seeing your enemy. You don't want anything. You're not trying to rob him of anything. You just want to, I don't know, get revenge in a way, or attack. And remember, hyenas have strong jaws and these heavy skulls. They're very, very strong animals. So to pick a fight with a hyena is maybe something you don't want to do. Also remember that they live in these clans. So say one wants to attack me at my clan, no, I have my posse behind me, like Corky has. So not anything would like to hunt, kill, and eat a hyena. Not very likely. I mean, there are instances where a lion will kill a hyena and may nibble on it or eat it, but that's usually out of desperation or a lack of food and that sort of thing. It's definitely not the first choice. And like I've said this before, animals are very much like humans in that they will pick out their favorite things and go for the favorite things first, and everything else will still be eaten. It'll just be eaten last. Everyone has preferences. It's an interesting thing, the way that predators will try to or will kill each other, so almost instinctually. I remember when Hassana was at, it was with one of the pans, and he killed an African wildcat, and he didn't eat it, didn't even really mangle the body or anything, just one bite to the skull, and it was dead. And that's really all he wanted to do. And it's sort of an instinctual thing, because they want to, these are other things in the environment that are their competitors, other things that can reduce their chances of survival. So as soon as they see them or other predators, then it's kind of like, oh, let me get rid of this one while I can. It's very interesting. And then you also get things like some animals will only kill the young of other predators, whereas other ones will kill the adults and the young. So there's all these different layers of interspecific competition, really. They're kind of killing each other to reduce that, which is really interesting, I think. Oh, something almost caught my eye, but it was just a bush. I'm so used to the cubs just walking around me. Yeah, very, very interesting. Now, these two are kind of just sitting by themselves. Excuse the pole there again. A bit mopey in the rain, and the cubs have all gone inside. Yes, I do have a very, very soggy hyena. Well, this hyena seems to like it a bit more than June does. June is soggy but in the bush. In the meantime, let's go over to another soggy creature with Jamie.
Well, I mean, the hyenas might be hiding away from this weather, but they're not nearly as good as Tlalamba is at hiding away. So you saw her get up and move underneath the bush. Now, spot the leopard, because I'm not even sure that we can. Sam, where's she gone? Do you know where she is?
Yeah,
somewhere in there. There, that's her. That is her. That's her spots there at the back there. There's a little bit of movement. Occasionally we see an eyeball looking out at the world, but that is one tiny little leopard curled up underneath the densest foliage. You funny curse. You're absolutely hilarious. Kirsten's pretending to try and catch me with an unscheduled broadcast of a bush. Something to entertain people with around the world. Definitely worth pulling in a couple of extra 100,000 viewers to see some grass. You're hilarious, Kirst. But I also don't want to move. I know we cannot continue here with this sighting for too long, but right now being still seems like the better option than driving into the rain, which has now changed direction and is blowing straight into the vehicle, into my face. The only way that you'd know that Tlalamba was here is if you were really paying attention to the movement of the grass. And every now and again she shifts position and the grass actually moves. Which makes us wonder, it's not an original question, it's a question that guides ask themselves all the time, as do regular visitors to the Kruger. How many leopards have we driven past or walked past in our lifetime? Something's barking. There's alarm calls coming from Milwaukee. Where is that? Mamba, Milwaukee. Are there any vehicles around Twin Dams, Milwaukee, Mamba side? Oh, frantic. I wonder if Tingana didn't just make a kill. Okay, copy. I'm going to be leaving Tlalamba. There's alarm calls from that direction. We're going to see if we can follow up. Okay. Anyway, how many leopards have we driven past? I would say, the question that I asked Brent the other day was, do you think that you've driven past or walked past more leopards than you have leopards that you've seen and spotted? And I reckon the answer is yes. I reckon I've driven past, I'm not sure. It's a touchy one. It must be a close run thing, but I reckon I've driven past more leopards, me personally, driven past more leopards than I've seen. Okay, hold on everyone. I'm gonna have to squeeze past this termite mound, because otherwise, oh hello. I can see her perfectly from here. No jokes. But I'm not going to stay because of these alarm calls. Ah, Seb, this roof. I want to just show them her beautiful face, all beautifully framed. And I wanted to take a picture of it. But I don't have my camera. Hold on. Okay, you got to see this, and then I'm going. Because I think Tingana has just made a kill. Or at least something has. Those alarm calls were very close together. Oh, this roof. I'm almost finding myself looking forward to the dry season. Seb, I'm going to need your help here. It's this poor bush in front of me that I don't... Ah. Hey, pretty girl. She's just in there, underneath the... Is Kirsten talking to me? It's possible she is. I can't actually hear anything. There. There. Ah, Kirsten was anticipating the view. It's actually a beautiful view from where I'm sitting. But I can't ignore these alarm calls anymore. Time to go. Shalamba, we'll see you later. Yes, you're catching flies. She found herself the perfect spot, but now she's trapped with a whole host of flies. All right, we will catch up with her a little bit later, depending on what we find. While we do, Patrick has done a marvelous job of finding our beloved Owino Pride.
Good luck with your cat search, Jamie. Mine is going great down here. So, as I have said, we are with the Owino Pride, and the one we are looking at now is about a 2-year-old male who is the son of Lychee, or Lychee, depends how you want to pronounce it. I say Lychee, but I know that the South Africans do say Lychee. It's very cool to see that kind of lighter genetics being passed on from the lighter mother. And now we have had a closer look, and it is not the complete pride here. Obviously, we do know that the cubs aren't here, but neither is their mother, Butternut. So there is only 3 females here with the male. There should be 4, and I can only assume that Butternut is somewhere with the cubs. So I think the best thing to do would be to stay here with the pride and hope that at some stage they do reunite. So we aren't with Butternut, we have Lychee, and then the young Papaya and her sister, who we call the ridge-nosed one because 2 distinct ridges down her nose, which we cannot show you right now because they are quite flat. On cue, down goes the male as well. And so that wasn't Butternut giving a bit of attitude towards the male, and it wasn't cub related. Now that we have the full scene pieced together, so I can only assume that the den site would be somewhat close by, if that is where Butternut is with her cubs. But where that is exactly, I'm not sure. Hopefully we do get some reuniting happening. So we pan across this beautiful landscape here. Lions and landscape. Can it get any better? And alleys. Close alley sighting, some birds. This is what I absolutely love about the Mara, is you can get so much variety in such a short amount of time. So I do apologise, just bear with me. So my comms are really breaking up and quite bad at the moment, so please do bear with me. I'm just going to put my earpiece in the cameraman's slot so I can hear what is going on and answer your questions. Please do just hold on one tick. I do sincerely apologise for this. Thankfully the cats aren't doing much of anything right now. I'll be with you all in a quick second. Alrighty. Thank you. Yep. Alright, so that should be back working now. Let Me Watch is asking, how do the animals in the Mara get named? Well, there's a few different naming techniques that are applied out here. A lot of the time it's given in Swahili, which is one of the native languages here, or there's a few actually native languages here, and they'll often be named after that. And it will also be according to features as well. So obviously with the Owino pride, Owino is one of the tribe's words here for someone who is killed by a poacher. So they are obviously looked upon as a hero, and so they are named after that word Owino. But then when we get to the individuals, most of them are named based on their characteristics. So Butternut, named Butternut because of the colour of her fur, as is with Lychee. And then the ridge-nosed one, we call the ridge-nosed one because she has distinct ridges on her nose. And then Papaya as well. So that is how we do the naming here. So there is, a couple different methods applied. I'm not actually sure who the rights go to when it comes to naming. I haven't had the chance to do that yet. But that is because most of the characters I have been around have already been pretty well established. Actually, speaking of characters, we did drive past Waffles before, and I do have to apologise. The other day I had an awesome sighting with Busara and another hyena, and I thought that hyena was Waffles because of that collar around the neck. But it turns out there is actually another hyena, I believe a male around, that also has a collar. And I thought it was a bit strange that Waffles would be so far away from the North Clan. We were a big distance away at the time. And so it was actually a different hyena, but I just got mixed up because of that collar that they were wearing. That still was an epic sighting. And speaking of Busara, she is still in the area. So Lauren caught up with her again last night up the escarpment still, but I have heard reports this morning that she is back down and in the area where we have been seeing her a lot lately, which is near one of the airstrips here in the Mara, the Kichwa airstrip. Kichwa meaning lion's head. Oh, and up gets the male to move away. No. Lisa, Butternut has 3 cubs right now, 3 very healthy, playful young cubs. So we did catch up with them the other night, and it was definitely a highlight. It was so nice. We tailed them for about 20 or 30 minutes after they had had a successful hunt, and they led us right back to the den to find 3 cubs. So that was very, very cool to see. And I can hope that they will grow up. I didn't find out the sexes though. It is quite hard to tell the sexes of the cubs unless you can have a good look at their belly when they roll over to see what's underneath. But as for now, I do not know. Alright, well, it seems like Jamie is going all in this morning and searching for another leopard. So let's send you back down and see how her search is going.
I am indeed searching for the leopard. Really feel as though 2 would be a great way to spend a morning. Cursed, my signal's going to go a bit odd here. I see tracks coming down. There's leopard tracks there, so let me just shift over here. Very, very fresh. This is where the alarm calls were coming from. Now, of course, I've lost them because I drove a little bit further past them. So I'm going to have to go through a dip towards Twin Dams. I'm pretty certain that it's Tingana that we're searching for. Obviously, I don't know with absolute certainty. So what we were hearing was a deep bark. Bah! Deep, deep bark. Kirsten, did you use the wrong radio? Oh! Uh-oh. Busted. Tech report. Tech report. Kirsten never did that. Just wait, hold on 1 second. I thought I heard a squirrel. In this, I'm gonna have to go into the Mulwati. I'm almost certain that's where he is, or it is. And you know, you never know which leopard you're dealing with. I'm pretty certain it's a leopard. We would have picked up on lion tracks. I'm gonna have to go through a dip. There's so much going on at the moment that I'm going to send you across to Trishala, who's racing off in search of wild dogs.
Yes, there is so much going on. So we left the den, and like I said, they were sleepy, it was rainy, they found themselves muddy holes and they were settled in. And now we've got reports that there might be wild dog around this area. So I've just kind of done a bit of an L shape at the moment, and then I'm going to turn at the top and go around and check again. Also been looking for tracks on the road, if there's anything around. Slowed down quite a bit, we were racing a little bit, and now I'm just kind of slowing down, looking for tracks. Haven't seen anything or heard anything yet, but we will continue looking, definitely. I really do dislike going on the main road. It's really bumpy and it's not very pretty. So please excuse it for now. A keen eye out. You can see how bumpy this road is. Oh. Ravinda says hit the gas. Can you see this, Ravinda? Do you want to hit the gas on this? Not really. Call it the camera killer. Now, let's see if this station is with the wild. No, they're not. They're moving on. Let's go to this side. It's always nice to see other vehicles around, because that may indicate that there's actually a sighting, which is really cool. Look at that, Ravinda. Can you see that? Can you feel that? It's crazy. Hello, hello. Okay. Everyone's excited to see wild dog. I'm excited to see wild dog. Let's see if we can get ourselves onto... Sometimes it's about the position that you're on. And now the problem is, I have passed the area where they were seen. So now my mission is to turn around and check it again. Don't really want to do on this road, but I have not seen anything. Okay guys, I'm gonna turn around. So they were seen at that intersection on the other side, so I'm gonna go right back there and hopefully find you some dogs. Get excited. Maybe I'll have some just now. Sorry, Jean-Dre. Sorry, guys. Anyway, let's go over to Pat, who has some lazy fat lions for you.
Good luck, Trishala. So we are still here with these Owinos, and they have got enough and moved about 5 meters or 15 feet and gone back down again. I think they're moving with the shade at the moment. So now that sun has poked through truly, it is starting to get quite warm already. This young male is, well, apart from the cubs, the youngest of the Owinos, trailing the two sisters by a couple of months. And of course, he had a sister as well, who unfortunately went missing quite some time ago and left on his own. Beck, the male, doesn't have a name yet. We just call it the young male. It's, I mean, it's the only male with the Owinos, and it's a very easy one to distinguish because of its lighter mane and size, and I mean, just all the traits that differ female from male lions. So we just call this one the young male. Very handsome young male, if I must say so myself. Looking very good, growing at a good rate as well. It's a nice size for a 2-year-old lion. I'm just going to move around a slight bit and hope that we can get a little bit of a better view here, as they have gone flatter again, and as I said, they moved a little bit. Now I am using a different comms at the moment, so you will see a bit of a wire hanging out the back here. I do apologise for that. I am not trying to look unpunctual. Gek wants to know, am I scared of driving over an animal in this long grass? Well, I'm not scared of it, but I'm definitely weary of it, so that's why I always try and keep a good look in front of me. But generally, animals are aware of the car, so we just need to try and be... Oh, hang on, I'm just going to stay quiet. There's a little bit of snorting going on. Must have stopped. There was a that sort of noise coming from one of the lions, which is very strange. But yeah, so we do tend to be quite wary of animals, and especially at night time, we try not to reverse at all in the long grass, try and only go forwards so we can see ahead of us. And when we are around lions, especially lion cubs, because they are a lot more unpredictable, we always make sure that we can see around us where we are moving towards. So again, it's just all about giving respect and then getting respect in return. We're gonna try and just observe out here. Just try to be the silent observer. I mean, it's awesome when you do get the animals approach you, just like that alley sighting this morning. Dash said she would be terrified to drive through here with the long grass and the rocks. Well, yes, it can get a bit tedious at times, but once you start to feel out the vehicle and feel out the roads a little bit, it does get a little bit easier. Having said that though, I have been led through some pretty treacherous terrain by the kinky tail lion of the Sausage Tree Pride. So it can get a little bit difficult, but you just, as I always say, need to remain calm and try and use the best option possible. The long grass isn't so bad. It's when you start to get to the rocks and the lumpy sort of terrain and the muddy tracks, of course. I have now joined the Royal Marshmallow Club as a result of some of the tracks around here. So yeah, it's just a matter of being aware. Sounds like Trishala is having a very successful morning over in Juma and has stumbled across a pretty large mammal. Let's go check it out.
Well, I was. We've just had a medium-sized bull kind of walk past us, and he was in the perfect position. And then he wasn't, and he walked straight out of frame. Now I can't actually see. Oh, he's behind us. Let me see if I can. He seems fairly comfortable, so let me see if I can reposition for us. Now, we also managed to find a lion track, which was quite cool, just up this area. And... oh no, he's still there. So we managed to find a lion track, so hoping around this area we can find some lions. Haven't heard any reports on the wild dog yet, and haven't seen anything or heard anything. Oh. No, boy, why are you walking off so fast? There we go. Let's go find him. It's always a pleasure to see elephants, and I was really hoping I would see an elephant because I love seeing them and I miss them. Let's actually just wait for him to take the bend so we can get a view of him as he walks off. So unfortunately, there is no room for me to turn around, is there? Jenny wants to know what I missed the most when I was on leave. So many things. Elephants, definitely, because it might be cliche. You know, everyone loves elephants and this and that, but I do. I honestly do. And it's one of the animals that I really, really miss. And I also really miss the lions. Strangely, I do really miss them. Of course, the leopards. Who wouldn't? But those are kind of the animals. That's kind of the ones that I miss the most. And of course, everyone at camp, I do miss as well. And Kirst says her. Well, not so much, Kirst, because you're in Joburg, so don't miss you very much. But good try. Very cool. He is walking off into the distance, having a good day. There must be some really nice vegetation. One thing that I did notice when I came back from leave is there's a lot of greenery and a lot of grass. So there must be all that nice, nutritious grass for this animal to grab onto. So he's having a good time in the rain. Nice and cool. And he's eaten as much as he can, I suppose. But he'll eat throughout the day, as elephants do. And now I just heard something on the Game Drive radio, so I am going to go searching. What did I hear? Not sure just yet. But I think something was definitely called in this area. So let us go back the way that we were going before Mr. decided to turn us around. It's not the... we learned to do 100-point turns here. In the meantime, while I do my 100-point turn, let us go over to Jamie, who's having an interesting time as well.
All right. My plan was to get Trishala into the wild dogs, but Trishala is currently occupied doing a 100-point turn. So I'm going there. I'm going to establish it for her. I'm going to help her keep track of them. And then as soon as she gets there, I'll pull out. But right now it seems as though Trishala, we might actually have all grown old. I mean, Seb's now walking with a cane. And Kirsten is having to put hearing aids in because we have all aged significantly in the time that it's taken to get Trishala to these wild dogs. So I'm just going to go help her out quickly, and then I'm going to go back towards those alarm calls. I've done a quick search of the Mulwati. Nothing. I'm a bit worried it's that skittish male leopard, in which case, you know, there's a good chance we drove right past him. Could also be that it's Tingana hiding in a bush, in the same way Tlalama was doing. Hold on. Okay, so I'm just going to help. It's a very busy weekend. There's lots of people on the Game Drive radio, so I'm just going to give Trishala a hand. And then once we've established it, then I'll pull out for her. Oh, here's a kudu. Excuse me, were you alarm calling? Surely not. Surely we are too far for that to be the kudu that was alarm calling. Definitely. Definitely? Yes, definitely. I love these cars so much. Hey, my girl, sorry. Apparently I'm hilarious, keeping you all entertained. Just to clarify something, apparently there's been lots of chatting about... I see why Trishala's been taking so long. There's an elephant in the way. Oh, Umka. I don't know where James is right now. I hope he's not watching. Umka's being very rude about James and saying that if we've all got old, then James must be positively prehistoric. That's not very nice at all. James will be very sad. Very, very sad. Well, I suppose he'd also be prehistoric. Possibly fossilized. Hello, Ellie. I really want to see an Ellie. I love seeing Ellies, but at the same time, I want to see the wild dogs. We'll come back to the Ellies. Where's Trishala now? I find myself with a small karmic problem. I'm so busy teasing Trishala, now I've got a little Ellie in the road. It's a little bit of a roadblock. Trisha's on Impala Plains. Okay, she really won't be able to get there sooner than I will. Hi, little boy. You're having a great time in this weather. I'm not going to push him off the road, don't worry. I would never. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. He requires a little bit more of a comfort space just because he's on his own. Hello. Yes, you're very intimidating. Very intimidating. Sorry, little boy. All by your lonesome. Got left behind. That's your fault, though. You got distracted by the sand and your herd left you. Now you just realized you're all on your own. See the indecision there in the body language of the trunk? He does. He looks so... Oh, whoa. Oh, this car smells so warm. I'm driving fast when it's rainy. Hi, boy. Listen, there's wild dogs around I would like to go and see. I'm just saying, you could find it in your little heart, or your large heart, to just move fractionally off the road. So you can learn a lot about elephants' body language. They're quite obvious in their body language. I mean, something like that is, I'm unsettled, not quite sure if I want you around, not quite sure how I feel, I'm trying to be intimidating. Standing by. Sorry. Okay, copy, thanks. We had Philemon's cut line. Just got a roadblock. Awesome, copy, thanks. Just getting an update on where the wild dogs are. So what I was going to say is elephants have very obvious body language signs. Swishing tail, nice and relaxed now again. Ears open, ears closed. All of those sorts of things are relatively obvious signs of how an elephant's feeling. But they do have more subtle indications as well. And one of the ways that you can actually gauge what an elephant is doing, yes, this is displacement behavior here. So he's pretending he's completely distracted, then he turns and he gives us a little show. But he's so tiny that he is truly not intimidating at all. I'm sorry, boy, it's okay. But one of the ways that you can really see indecision in an elephant's body language is the tips of their trunks. They twist, they have anxious habits in the same way that humans do. So just like we might fiddle with our fingernails or fidget with our fingers, elephants do the same with their trunks. Listen, you're going to get an even bigger fright if those dogs turn down here, mister. Where's the rest of your herd? You just really wanted to stay behind and dust bathe. Lily, who is 8 years old. Hello, Lily. Lily would like to know if his herd will come back to him if he's lost. Yes, there's a good chance that they will not necessarily turn around and come back for him because he's quite old now. He's got a little bit of independence, but what they'll do is they'll quite possibly wait for him. So he's still too young to be independent from his herd. He's not ready to leave home just yet. So the herd will most likely wait for him. It's possible they could come back. You never know with elephants. They do have very, very close bonds. But chances are, remember, he can hear so much better than we can. So he probably knows exactly where the other herd members are. He, of course, will have seen them walk in a direction, and he can hear as they move through an area and they're feeding. So you don't need to worry about him. He's definitely not going anywhere. Oh, sorry. He's definitely not going to be separated or lost. He just really wanted to stay behind. Yeah. Typical teenage insouciance. I'm not going to go with. I'm going to stay here and be independent for a little bit. Now I've got a stick. Oh, it's coming for us. That was... Yes, very intimidating. Would you like to try that again, or are you embarrassed now? Are you embarrassed? That was embarrassing. That was a pathetic throw. I have seen better. I shouldn't say that. You're not allowed to say these things these days. You've got to be encouraging. You tried very hard. Well done. Well done. A for effort. Let's try again. There's so much happening in the mind of this elephant right now. It is so relatably... It's so relatable to us as humans. Oh, there's... How can I put this in a way? I can really feel it. I can understand it. This exact emotional response he's having, right? So he's exerting his own independence, right? Like a teenager might do at a shopping mall. But he's been left behind, so now all of a sudden he's a little bit more vulnerable and a little bit more afraid. But he can't show that because he's a teenage boy. So he's got to be macho and brave. So right now what he's doing is he's warring with several different instincts. One saying, I'm big and intimidating and I must act that way. The other saying, where's mom and dad? Well, not dad, where's mom and the rest of the herd? Or at least just the safety of company. And he also doesn't want to embarrass himself. That crippling embarrassment of puberty is, I'm really overdoing it here. I'm really over anthropomorphizing. But it's the most relatable thing, what he just did. Okay, that's great, let's go. He's moved now. It had absolutely nothing to do with his movement. He might turn and shake his head as we go past him. Where's your stick? Where's your stick, mister? We're going to go nice and slowly. We're not going to race past him. Let's not add to his crippling feelings of adolescent embarrassment by making him run away. That would be terrible. He'd be thinking about it all day. Should have stayed. Should have stayed. Right, I've said all of this. I talked a big talk. I'm not quite sure that's really the way that one says that. But anyway, Trishala might actually beat me to the wild dogs, essentially.
Yes, I might. You see how the tables have turned? We got stuck with an Ellie and then she got stuck with an Ellie. Well, I am not too far from where the report was, but I see there's also quite a few other stations there at the moment. So I will sort of have to hang back just for a little and then I will approach them. So we're going to cruise for a little bit. Now, we did see a wonderful spider kind of coming down from the roof here. And then as soon as we wanted to talk about him, he was gone, wasn't he? Just see a bit of his web left over there. I always love how when it's raining and you have the spider's web, then it catches all these little droplets and it looks a bit like fairy lights. I always like that. I think it's so cute, actually. Very cute. So you'd be proud of me, everybody. I was speeding along when I finally got a gap. There you go, Ravinda. I've always wanted to be a Formula One driver. One of many dreams I've had. Ooh. We just had an update. And we have a roadblock. Let us go around. That's always fine to do in the summer, but in the I mean in the winter when it's darker. Sorry, when it's drier. Sorry, Jamie's calling me in at the same time. Let me respond to her quickly. I'm going to speak to Jamie of the Game Drive Radio, and in the meantime, of course, I'm going to be looking for these wild dogs for you all. Let's go over to Pat, who's got something exciting for you. Anyway.
Wow, it sounds like a very alley-packed morning that we are having. Some very special sightings from the sound of it. Very cool. And I believe Trishala is on the fringes of some wild dogs as well, so it is all happening. Well, it's not so much all happening with the Owino Pride right now. They are still staying quite flat and just moving with the shade at the moment. So it will be interesting to see once that sun comes a little bit above the tree and there's not much shade, whether they will move off or not. Now, I haven't heard any contact calling at the moment. And Marie, it's not too chilly in the Mara this morning. I did have to wear my jacket earlier on, but now that the sun has come through, it is quite warm. I think we started the day at about 19 degrees Celsius, 66 degrees Fahrenheit, and I could only imagine it's gone up 3 or 4 degrees Celsius since then. There is also a bit of a breeze around today. It's keeping a nice cool on things. It's quite refreshing. It's now 22 and 71. Thank you, Kirst, for your quick meteorology review. That was great. So there we go. It has gone up a little bit. It's keeping the cats pretty flat. Now, to my right as well, we do have another cool thing to see. There's a ground hornbill off in the distance here. Just noticed that. Well, it wasn't actually too hard to notice. They are quite a large bird, and of course that distinct red patch there on its face makes them very easy to spot, even in long grass. Very cool. We don't often see the ground hornbill. It's, although out of all of the hornbills, it's definitely the one I've seen the most in the Mara, but that is 100% not the case down in Juma. We always see the yellow and red-billed hornbills all over the place. We actually have quite a few that come into camp, and they are also very much smaller than the ground hornbill. Beautiful scenery there. Very nice. So, just another cool animal to add to this morning's list. As we scan this horizon here, we can see that this area is pretty devoid of prey. There's not a whole lot of options on the horizon, and as I said, we also didn't hear any attempts to catch up. Jessica is asking, well, don't hornbills usually, well, ground hornbills usually have a few more with them? Yes, that is generally the case. You will often see them in mating pairs, or sometimes in a group of 3 or 4, sometimes even 5. So it is a little bit strange to see this one solitary. I hope it does have some friends that it can catch up with. Probably out looking for food on its own right now. Such a cool bird. I did give my list of 5 favourite birds yesterday, but I don't think the ground hornbill would be really, it wouldn't be too far out of the top 5. Well, it looks like we have the elephant hat trick this morning. All 3 of us guides today have an alley sighting now. Trishala is blocked by them, I hear.
Yes, we all do have elephants. So while I was rushing off and I said to you guys, I'm just going to answer the Game Drive radio, unfortunately, they let us know that the wild dogs have crossed into another reserve or another lodge's area. Unfortunately, and we don't have a visual of them anymore, so we won't be able to see them today. But these guys, they move around so much, so it's only, I mean, it's a guessing game. We could actually see them later this afternoon, which would be really, really cool. Oh, hello, boy. Please excuse the pole there. Hey, boy. Oh, I love when they're close to us. Hey, you sweet thing. Hello. 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 That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're your friends. We're your friends. I always love that. It's okay, my boy. Look how he's digging up that sand. Oh, how nice is that? You can hear all of the walking and the digging, and you can see the way that they dig with their foot, with their toenails, and they push with their toenails, and then they pick up that sand and throw it over onto them. It's okay. We're all your friends. There we go. There we go. Go about your eating. Ooh. That grass sounds nice and moist. You know when you grab a clump of grass and you sort of pick it up and it makes that squeaky noise? That's what I could hear right now when he was picking it up. It definitely has been Elephant Day, Elephant Roadblock Day. It's as if they set it up. They knew. Kapow, you'd like to know how sensitive an elephant's sense of smell is. Well, very sensitive actually. They can smell the other members of their herds, which I think is quite cool. And you often see, oh, what are you doing up there? That was just too cute. How was that little display? How was that little display? Oh. Well, there you go, guys. For those of you who thought that elephants don't lie down, there you have it. But what was that, the whole display before that? It was like a final, I'm going to lie here, I'm a princess, down. So sweet. Well, that's what we all really want to do on this cold Saturday morning. It is. So we were talking about the sense of smell of these animals. And it's actually really, really interesting in that they can smell different sort of parts of a plant. So you have plants that they obviously really like and plants that they don't. And then you have the plants that have lots of tannins in them. And certain plants have certain smells. And strangely, a lot of them will go for the plants that have high tannin because they have tannin-binding proteins in their saliva. But how do they know which ones those are? They do that by sense of smell. So they can actually, before they decide to ingest anything, they can actually do some sorting and searching just by smell. So they can tell which plant is the one that they're after and which one is not. And I think that's really cool. And it kind of gives you a good insight into exactly how good their smell is, their sense of smell. It's like when you're in bed and under your blanket and your feet kind of play with each other. This is too cute. There we have a foot. What a spot, just on the road. Now that's a proper roadblock. That's not going anywhere. Mary J says playing dead. Well, not doing a very convincing job. Tail is still wagging. Feet are still flinching. You're not playing a very good dead, Ellie. No, no. Oh, are you almost going to get up? You're going to try and get up. Oh, this is too adorable. Sorry, Lisa. I didn't quite get what she was saying there. I was looking at whether this other one was going to join. Hey. What's going on here? I don't know if that's the typical mounting position. No, no. What are you doing? I'm just having a bit of fun, I reckon. I wonder if I could inch forward. Now, I don't want to disturb them because it's such a cool little sighting to see them do this. But let's try and inch forward just so we get a bit of a better view. We have this kind of a turn here, so as long as I get on the straight and we can see him, then we'll be fine. So let's try that out. See what it is they're up to. I can see little legs flailing. Look at this little one. Oh, this is just too cute. Look at them. Are they wrestling as well? We had wrestling hyenas now, and we're wrestling commentator for these Ellies. And he goes with the trunk. And he's got him down. 1, 2, 3. Ding, 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 ding. And you win, little one. Now, but both shoulders are not on the ground. We know that rule. Both shoulders need to be on the ground. You can see they're thoroughly dust-bathed. Look at that trunk. The bigger one almost tried to shoo away this little guy with a kick. Look at that, guys. Look at that. This is so sweet. So these guys must feel so comfortable, you know, to just kind of lie flat. It's a vulnerable position, but they're lying flat and they're having some fun. In the meantime, we have the other Ellies around, which are also really comfortable, just kind of dust bathing, not having an issue at all. And these two are just having the time of their lives. Very, very cute. Oh, this is too cute. We have to share it. We're going to share it with a wider audience. Welcome, everybody. And we are at Juba, and we have the most adorable little sighting. We have this little baby Ellie kind of climbing on top of his friend there. Now you can see that that elephant is on the ground, the bigger one. And he kind of just slumped back or down there. It's just the most entertaining thing. Now she's trying to get up, and the little one's like, no, 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 I want to play still. Oh, what a feat to get up. But a trunk tussling going on there. Oh, she's so irritated with this little one. She even tried to push her away with a bit of a kick. There you go, please be my friend. Sherry says, this is too cute. I cannot agree with you more. Look at the way they're headbutting. This little one is so feisty. Oh, this is just so cute. Now let's see what happens when the big one comes through. Will you break it up? Oh, some more wrestling going on, and you're back down. Baby has won again. How cool is that? That's the most cutest thing ever. Now we have this bigger lady coming through. Hello? Did you just hear me talk about you? Hello? They're just having a wonderful kind of day out for the family. Got somebody relaxing on the floor. We got somebody irritating, the relaxing person. And of course, we've got this nice big cow walking past. And she does nothing to separate the apparent irritation going on in this little scenario. This reminds me so much of when you're little and you just want people to play with you, and then they just lie there like, okay, play, play, play. And then you kind of playing by yourself and just in their presence. When really you wanted them to play with you. Look at this. And look at the gangliness. Look at the gangliness of that trunk and it's whooping. Oh! Oh. How are you gonna get back up now? Oh, this is truly unique. I haven't ever seen elephants do this sort of thing. We know that they play, we know that they can lie down, but to see them interact like this is so special. So, so special. I'm so glad to be able to share it with you guys. Look at you. Are you trying to get up? There you go. There you go. Oh, it almost looks like the little one's trying to copy. She's still irritated with it. Very, very cool. I thought you were going to come in to break it up, but no. Maybe you'll join in. Oh, it really is awesome. You guys have said it's made your day. I'm so glad that it's made your day. It's definitely made my day. Definitely. That little one is still trying to get up. Too cool. And the way that she would kind of kick at it. So, so sweet. It seems to be quite a big herd. There's more around us. As we look around, I can hear slight, soft footsteps. Hello, you. Are you okay after your Royal Rumble? Too sweet. Look at that walking towards us. Magnificent. Lisa, you say your cheeks hurt from smiling. I don't think I've laughed that much in a long time. That really was something. How funny was that? It really, encapsulated that kind of fun that all mammals need to have to grow. Absolutely stunning. Now the rest of the herd is behind us, so we are going to have to move off so we're not in their way, because that seems to be where we are at the moment. Just to turn out of their way. Ah, never mind. They're good to us. They decided they will turn. Hey, you little one, you've been causing trouble, haven't you? cutest thing. You are just too cute. How cute is this? And there's a big one coming behind us as well. But like I said, I would have moved out of the way, but they seem to have had enough thoughtfulness to move out of. Oh, that was a big stick. That was such a big stick. It made me so scared. Big male behind us. Look at this trunk lying across the top of this baby. You guys still want to fight? So curious about us. This is so stunning. This is one of my favorite elephant sightings, I'd have to say, by far. By far. I like how he turns around and says, I'm gonna go away. No, I'm not. Yes, Matt, I 100% agree with you. These elephants are now showing off. This little one said, well, if I can win a wrestling match with my friend here, then I can win against your car. Yes, I can. This is a really big herd. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'd say about 8 or 9 elephants. Kind of all around us at the moment. Very nice. What a pleasure. What a pleasure. Oh. I'm just thinking, putting my trunk in my ear. See, this little one, he doesn't need to think very much. No. You know what you want. I love these two. It's like Laurel and Hardy, you know. One tries something, other's like, nah, don't do it. And then he does something and the other one wants to do it. It's so cute. Are you rubbing on his tusk? Hey? Too sweet. Absolutely. And look at how the rest of the herd has moved on, but these two are insistent on showing us that they are big and bad. This is just beautiful. Oh, even more Ellies behind us. Come, guys, why don't you want to join the family? You want to show us how brave and big you are. I know how brave and big you are. Oh, you you almost tusked your friend's head there. Did you know that? Get out of my way, it's my turn. Oh, let me chew on one of those tusks again, please. Oh, too beautiful. Let's just listen to them for a minute. You'll hear them crunching. Oh, we've got lots of members of your family. Is that why you're so brave? Because everyone's around. There you go. Take a step back. The little one's just reversing back into... What are you doing? Oh, jeez, I love these two. They're like the naughty boys in the class. It's too cute. Look. This is the most awesome sighting ever. It is beautiful. It is an awesome elephant sighting, and there are heaps of elephants behind us that all look like they're waiting patiently for us to move. Well, if you can move your two youngsters here and get them to stop fighting, and squabbling, then maybe we could move out of your way. Okay? This is the longest I've ever sat with them, and they've actually just stayed instead, wanting to be brave. Big and brave. Come, guys. Oh, your family and friends want to get through. Hello. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna move out of your way just now. Now I am in a bit of a pickle. There are about 10 elephants behind us. Hello. It's okay. It's okay. There are but a few elephants behind us, so I think I'm going to have to move out of the way eventually. Come, guys. Move off the road. Move off the road. There we go. There we go. And now these guys. I love it. As soon as I ask them to move off, the other ones change direction. It's okay. It's okay. There we go. Oh, very cute. Now, you guys have been asking if these two could be siblings. They certainly behave like they're siblings. Hello. It's okay. It's okay. Very cool. I always think that Ellie sightings are the best. And what's really nice is that I can be here watching these Ellies and have these big ones behind us. It's just the most amazing experience. It really is a great experience. Well, thank you for joining us. Remember that you can search Safari Live on YouTube and continue to watch with us. And this is completely live. Good to have you on board. Thank you. Wow. How awesome was that? Now we have kind of most of the herd behind us moving back at this point. Shame, I think I was in their way enough. Oh, it's so hard. Oh, well, there's somebody coming along here. Hello? Did you get left behind? Wow, this is one cute elephant family, I think. Absolutely stunning. All right, let us move forward. I think we've been in their way for too long now. They have been trying to get through this side and come past onto the road here, but they just haven't been able to. And it really isn't just our fault. It's the fault of these two youngsters that were wrestling in front. But I think that was so awesome. That was too cute. When they were lying down and the one kind of like, please, shoo, go, don't, you're irritating me. Oh, it seems like somebody's got lions that look like they're on the hunt. We don't want to miss that, so let me send you right over.
Yes, it does look like we have hungry lions here. So we have had the Owino pride get up and move off now, led by one of Lychee's daughters. And what they seem to be moving towards is a couple of buffalo on the horizon. So I'll just get a little bit, make up a little bit of ground between us so I don't lose sight of them. And then I'll stop and show you the buffalo. So here we go. So we can see where they are here in front of us, just there. And then we have two buffalo on the horizon. Well, we are going to stay with this pride and follow their movements very closely, but it is all Ellie's this morning. Jamie is having yet another amazing elephant sighting.
This has been such a wonderful elephant-filled morning. It really has. It sounds like Trishala had an absolutely spectacular elephant sighting. We actually did as well, but Trishala's elephants were just being so thoroughly entertaining that Kirsty couldn't justify cutting away from them. But we're actually sitting here waiting. We're going to have a really lovely sighting with these Ellies. They're going to come right up past us. Hi. Morning. I see a patch of grass over there that smells really, really good. Or a nice opportunity for a youngster to play around a bit, pretend to feed, and then give us a bit of a head shake, which is what I think is going to happen here. No, we're actually feeding. It's a nice, relaxed herd. So what we're going to do is the whole herd is on its way here. There's probably, actually it's probably more than one herd, potentially, because there's quite a lot of elephants. There's a couple of really tiny babies, and what we're going to do is we're just going to sit here. And we parked out of their way. They're all walking along down the road. We parked out of their way. So we're going to sit here and just wait for them to all come filing past us, which I think they're going to do very shortly. And this young bull is the first of our surprises, but there's a big female that's been leading the group. Not, of course, necessarily the matriarch. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to see if I sit quietly for a second. You can hear the sound of them feeding. I can actually hear the... Oh, silly pole. Sorry, Seb. I'm not going to move now. I can actually hear the grasses squeaking as his trunk wraps around the slightly wet grass from the rain. I'm going to say something else. Oh, the females that are leading the group is not necessarily the matriarch. It just has to be one of the older, larger females that has a bit more experience than the rest. The matriarch actually does occasionally walk at the back of the group to take up a protective role, so it's very difficult to judge whether you're looking at the matriarch or just one of the older females. Some of these Ellies are actually going off to the left of us and to the south into the block, which is a pity because I was hoping they were going to come this way. And I don't think it's got anything to do with us. I think that's just the way they've decided to go. But I'm not going anywhere. This is where I'm going to be to the end of drive, because I have not spent proper time with an elephant herd in weeks. So I find that no matter what mood one's in, they always have a truly stabilizing effect. You know, and just calming. Mina Moo would like to know whether or not elephant tusks are solo. Are they solo? Whether they are solid or hollow. That I was trying to say. Remember that an elephant's tusk is a modified tooth. That is essentially a modified tooth that stretches all the way out from where it's embedded with its root in the jawbone, and it stretches out to pop out or emerge from the skin next to the trunk, meaning that they are completely solid. So it is totally solid, and it is in almost exactly the same substance as your teeth are made of, just slightly modified. Hello. Hi. Yes, you're all going to come and say hello to me. Or is that a particularly sweet patch of grass? I think it's a particularly sweet patch of grass with a little side excuse to come and be close to us. And come and learn a little bit about these humans. Let me be quiet so you can hear this. There's nothing more repulsive than a human being chewing with their mouth open right next to you. But when Ellies do it, it's just special. Well, this for them is a... I'm going to sit up for a second, Sarah, but I just want to watch this cow for a sec. She's got the tiny baby. Okay. Oh, did you bump into each other? Look. Oh, he's so sweet. What was I going to say? I can't even remember. I got completely derailed. Oh, this is a really nice time of year for them. Oh. Because it's just before the dry season, so the grass is really, really looking good. The end of the rainy season, very nutritious. They're getting as much as they can. Obviously, for little ones like this, the whole concept of solid food is still not quite a world away. Hi, big girl. Hi, big girl. Yes. She's probably going to walk past us at some point with her head up and her ears out, just to let us know that we need to make sure we don't in any way think about getting too close to her babies, although they're getting close to us. Hello. Yes. So at about 6 months old, little Ellies like this one will start to nibble on solid food, but they remain reliant. Look at this. Reliant on their mother's milk for a good few years after that. I didn't duck my head out of the way. This is so sweet. I'm just going to be quiet, you can hear them. Don't you push that little elephant so that it makes a noise, because then we're going to get the blame. I love seeing all animals out here, but there is a very special happy feeling to seeing elephants like this. Hello. Hello. Hi. I'm going to move really slowly. I don't want to make it nervous at all. It's okay, little boy. You can come. You can come. It's okay. It's all right. Shame. He just got left behind by his peers and he lost his nerve at the last minute. Are you cute? Yes, off you go then. You go catch up with them. It's just the best. It really is just the best. Mom's coming with the little one now. The little one didn't go with her. She actually went around her. Seb, I don't want you to panic, but there's an elephant charging you at the back. Tiny baby. All right. No, we actually don't stress, Kirst. It's right behind us. So what we're going to do is we don't want to keep you away from Pat's hunting lions for now, so we're going to send you across over there. But don't worry, we're not going anywhere.
Well, we are still here with the Owinos, and they are getting very close to these buffalo. I'm just going to get in a good position so we can see exactly how close they are, but I think we do have a hunt on our hands, so very exciting stuff. So I'm just getting in a good position here so we can see just what is going on. Here we go. So we do have them stalking in the long grass now. This is intense stuff. Very much anticipating what is going to happen next. It does look like they are definitely locked onto these buffalo and do want to get at it. It's just a matter of how they go about it. Yes, I do think that this is a good time to share this with a wider audience and put this out as an unscheduled. It's very exciting. A very warm welcome to everybody. I hope you enjoy this special broadcast we have coming to you live from the Masai Mara Game Reserve here in Kenya. Now, we have a few lions here, well, 4 lions to be exact, and they are part of the Owino Pride. We can see just in front of them there are some buffalo that they appear to be stalking. They have moved quite a distance now. I did see them way back, probably about 300 or 400 metres, so about 1,000 feet just over behind us. And wow, they have been moving closer and closer ever since. So it's a very tense scene here. I do believe we do have a hunt on our hands though, unless these buffalo do clue on early and manage to get away. They do seem to be looking over in this direction. I'm not sure whether they have seen the lions yet or not. So the Owino pride consists of 4 females, 2 older and 2 sub-adult, and 1 sub-adult male that we can see back here, just perched up here. So here's a 2-year-old male, and we are missing one of the Owinos. So one of the Owino prides, Butternut, is a older one and has just had cubs. So we believe that she is off with the cubs at a den somewhere, while the others have come out for a hunt. So you can see they are making up even more ground. Very tense moments. Male at the back, so there doesn't seem to be any trailing behind, so the other 3 must be in front. I just can't see right now. I'm going to creep forward a bit now. So we have been with the Owino pride for most of the morning, and they were pretty flat for most of the time, but now they have definitely gotten up. They were looking a little bit hungry, so we did suspect that there may be a hunt at some stage this morning, and it looks like we have got what we had expected. Everyone is commenting, saying that it is very exciting, and please do keep those comments and questions coming in. You can use the hashtag SafariLive on Twitter or whatever chat stream you are on, whether it be YouTube or Facebook. Wow, okay, so they are inching ever so closely now. Buffalo have definitely pricked up, but it's not always completely over, even if the buffalo do sight them. Sometimes they do still charge the attack. Oh, very exciting stuff here in the Masai Mara. So I can't seem to get visuals on the other 3 females, but I do know that they are closer than this male. And the pride, even when the 2 younger females were a lot smaller and couldn't participate in hunts, the 2 older females are still able to take down buffalo. So they are a very capable pride. And, well, it's anyone's game right now. It's just a matter of watching and waiting and watching and waiting. Very exciting stuff. So still can't see these 3 females. The buffalo does seem to be sniffing in the air there. We can see its head is up, and the other one though, head down, grazing it seems. I can only assume grazing. If it's not grazing, it must be drinking, but still seems pretty unaware. Oh. So the camera right now probably does make it look like that a little bit closer than what it is, but still not too much. I would have to say about 100 metres, 300 feet between them. Kayleen, it is amazing how lions know where to be in a hunt. They are very tactical and work in a group, so they're a bit different to some of the other big cats, such as the cheetah and the leopard, in that they will most likely hunt in prides or in packs, in groups. We do see it often with a coalition of cheetah, but most of the time, if it's a solo female, she will be out hunting on her own. And of course, leopards do tend to live a bit more of a solitary lifestyle as well. But when it comes to lions, it's a real team effort. There's a lot of stealth, a lot of tactics used. Now, if the buffalo has sighted the lions, then it probably still wouldn't be moving too far. You will see quite often with prey, when they are being stalked by a predator, that they would prefer to have it in sight and closer to them than out of sight and further away. but I still couldn't confidently say whether they have actually seen them or not. It does seem to be acting a little bit skittish now. I'm really wondering where these 3 females are right now. It's a time of year here in Kenya where the grass... Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so buffalo is chasing one of the lions away. So we have first contact here. So I'm just going to move a little bit closer now. So we did see there was a bit of a charge from the buffalo towards the lion. So we do have contact now. So I'm going to... Oh. So the buffalo are coming this way towards the lions. I'm not sure whether they're being chased or whether they are coming to scare them off. It looks like they are trying to make an escape though. I can't... Oh, the one's on the tail, so we do have a hunt. Okay, so we have... They're all on the tails. Oh, exciting stuff. All right, I'm just going to move around. So they are after the buffalo now. Just working with my cameraman here. Sorry, it's going to get a little bit bumpy as I move through this long grass. So we have a hunt on our hands. So one has got the anchor now. There's one on the back. So I was being hesitant to move closer, but now that the hunt is initiated, there's no way I can really interfere here. So I'm just going to get the closest angle. So we do have one on the back. All right. So now it is a matter of good positioning. We will see one try and get the anchor at the back of the buffalo and hold it down. We can see it's doing a very good job of keeping them off right now. So now we've got the 4th one coming in from the side. So now all of them are in the hunt. And it looks like the other buffalo is coming in to defend as well. We will see them often defend other members of their herd. Even though there was only 2 here, I can only assume 2 Duggar males, which are males that do break away from the herd. So now it is a tense battle here. It's going to... So they are moving again. We'll see lions often being very resilient in buffalo hunts. Very exciting stuff here. Everyone is saying this is awesome. Yes, it is great. Now, the grass is just a bit long, so I'm going to come through. So we'll often see one try and anchor, and then we'll probably most likely see some try and get at the Achilles, and then there is always that kiss of death as well, where they try and suffocate them by putting their mouths over the nostrils and mouths of the buffalo. So the buffalo doing a good job right now of keeping them at bay, not allowing them to get in that good position. Bear with me while I do move. This is very, very intense stuff. Now I'm just going to negotiate this little bit here. It's a little bit kind of swampier. You can see them still moving through the long grass here. Okay, so now they are hanging back a bit. Looks like the buffalo may have been lucky on this occasion. They do seem to have subsided. Oh, so we have one right in front of us here. So it does seem like the buffalo have made an escape. They are running very far away now, and the lions have stopped with the hunt. It just didn't seem like they were able to get themselves in a good position, perhaps due to lack of experience, as there is only one older female with them right now. Everyone is saying that was epic. It was. My heart is going 100 miles per hour. What an intense situation. Well, it does look like the action has subsided now, so we will say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining. That was an epic little hunt there. We are going to stay with the Owino Pride to see if they do make another attempt. So if you want to follow along, please go to YouTube and type in SafariLive to tune back in with all the action. Thank you for joining. How exciting was that? I am going to gather myself for a few moments and send you over to Jamie.
Ooh, well done, Pat. I can only imagine how exhilarating that is to see. No, I don't even need to imagine. I know how exhilarating that is to see in the Mara. But we're still with our Ellies, who are not. I wouldn't describe them as. Hang on. These Ellies just got a bit of a fight. They're chasing each other. I'm gonna just turn round. So our Ellies are not exhilarating at the moment. What they are is peaceful, playful, and lovely. Although what's been particularly entertaining to watch is the one with diarrhea, whose little friend has been feeding off the products of his diarrhea and drinking from the liquid, which is actually quite disgusting. But of course, disgusting from a human perspective, whereas for them, it's a great way. It's basically like taking a probiotic every morning. A great way of getting some of the older elephants' bacteria, gut bacteria, which of course will then in turn help with digestion. There's a big herd that's coming up the back this side. And I'm just going to see if I can sneak past because they're still drinking at Treehouse Dam. But these two have been chasing each other around. Just want to see if you... This is ridiculous. All right, there's a tiny baby here. I'm going to try reposition to get it while I do. So morning of elephants. Trishala, I think, might be a little bit ahead of me, and she's got them drinking.
Oh, this really has been an elephant-filled Saturday morning, hasn't it? Now, I think this is the same herd that we saw earlier with the two playful youngsters. And I have a feeling it's the same one because they came from the same direction. Now they're just down here having a drink and a wash. Aren't they just the sweetest? You'll often kind of see them totally in the water as well, which is really, really quite a sight. There's one that's a little bit in, but still just feet in. Very, very cool. So many eddies. I'm so happy that on my first drive back I've managed to find so many, and entertaining nonetheless. You can hear them slurping up. Oh, wonderful, wonderful sounds. They really are magnificent creatures. Can you imagine this? All these ellies around us. There's these ones here, and there was also a huge herd that passed in front of us. I actually think that it's part of the same herd. They've just been separated. Now, they got a bit of a scare, and there was a bit of a shriek, but I'm not sure what for. I didn't see any big bulls around, at least not here. There was one in the when we saw them earlier. Maybe they can hear him or smell him, and they're not too happy about it. But then again, maybe a squirrel just gave them a fright. So beautiful. I always find it really... Oh, can you hear that? Oh, Sarah, you're hoping that the eddies will go for a swim? I certainly hope so too. I really hope that they do. But it is not the hottest day, so maybe they'll decide just to have some nice water and walk off, which is looks like what they're trying to do. But maybe there'll be one or two scamps that'll decide, no, it's a great day for a swim, and jump in. Oh, look at this little one suckling. It was actually one of the little ones that shrieked. And you'll often hear that kind of screaming or shrieking from little calves when they're after milk and mum is no longer able to give it to them, or rather she's trying to wean them off the milk, and then you'll hear that kind of shriek tantrum basically that these babies throw. Look at them, look at them. All marching through. Really, really cool. I love bellies. I love them. I'm so glad that I got to see them. And they're actually passing in front of us now. It's just spectacular. Oh, some have stopped to drink more. Yeah, so we saw another bit of the herd earlier that was passing in front of us, and now this portion of the herd is following that track. So I'm quite certain that they're part of the same group. Look at those amazing trunks, curling and folding and falling back down. Absolutely amazing, unlike any animal ever. Fancy cheetah. You want to know if baby Ellie's teeth in the same way as adults do? Well, in an elephant's lifetime, they have 6 sets of teeth that they'll have to go through, and so each time one of those erupts, they go through a similar type of thing. Especially, I would imagine, for the first ones, because much like, I suppose, like sharks, they push the teeth from the back as opposed to erupting from the bottom. And for baby Ellie's, I can imagine that would be quite a painful situation for your gums. But we have heard of things like elephants chewing on tambuti leaves and other things that are high in tannin or have latex, and they try to numb those areas in their teeth. So certainly they do teethe or feel discomfort in their gums. We often hear that with toothache as well. They'll take bits of plants and kind of rub it on their gums, which is really smart, actually. Anyway, we're going to send you over to Jamie, who has more elephants. Don't act surprised. It's Elephant Saturday. So let's go over to her.
Well, we did have a really... Oh, no, hold on. Can we still see it? No, we can't. We had a tiny little baby that we've been desperately trying to get on camera, but Mom's keeping it away from us, and of course the vegetation is so thick that she's shepherded it away, and as a result, because the vegetation's so thick, it's absolutely vanished. There's Ellie's walking all around us from behind us. I think Trishala was not far from them. Shepherded it. Oh, Trishala's just talking about toothache, actually, which, you know, there's a good point. Hello. Let me duck down so you can be seen. There's a good point that was raised that I actually wasn't thinking of at all, is the fact that I spoke about tusks being solid, and they are at the end. But there is, of course, like with a human tooth, the bit right down where the root joins into the tooth, where it's basically pulpy, full of nerves, and if infected, extraordinarily painful. You know, your nervous system around your teeth and your gums and your roots extends right back into your brain, and it's, well, all nerves do, I guess, but it is, those of you who've ever had toothache, you'll know how painful that is. Now imagine what it's like for an elephant to get a tooth abscess on their tusk. If something happens and the tusk is broken very near the base, or even cracked near the base, and it gets infected, it becomes fiercely painful for them. And often elephants that have become dangerous and aggressive or had a sudden shift in mood, it's often explained by a tooth abscess. You can just imagine, I mean, it's one thing for us to get an abscess, and our roots comparatively are relatively short. Imagine how, with the elephant root system extending into their skull, how painful. Oh, it just gets the shivers just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing worse than a toothache. That last day that Brent was, when he did his last drive and he had that swollen cheek, he was in such pain when he finished that drive. He was in absolute agony. And Seb was in the car with us. We drove back with you. Remember, we had to go and lance it immediately in the bathroom of the restaurant.
Yes.
Oh, terrible. Shame. That was really very painful for him. So it's the same thing will happen to an elephant if they find themselves with a cracked tooth. Gary wants to know why some elephant toenails are dark and some of them are white in color. Two different reasons. One, it might be that an elephant has in some way kicked or damaged the nail, which is pretty hard for an elephant to do. Those nails are thick beyond your imagining. You might think that you have thick toenails. Perhaps you possess very thick toenails that require not nail clippers but bolt cutters in order to trim. You know nothing in comparative to an elephant's toenails, which are probably about, half an inch thick. Would that be fair? Yeah, I would say possibly even thicker than that when I've been up close to elephant toenails. So they're very, very thick, very hard to damage, but they can be damaged. But a lot of the time what you're seeing is the color from something that they've touched or kicked. So they can be stained red from bark. They can be covered in sort of whitish colored sand or clay or mud. Often they go and they bathe in mud, and the mud sticks to their toenails more easily than it does to their skin. In other words, it doesn't rub off as quickly as it... I think you'd be familiar with that if you were to paint your fingernails and you were to not paint them very well, so you smudge onto your fingers or the skin surrounding your fingernails. You know that washes off very quickly, where the nail polish will actually stay on. So that's, some of you don't have experience painting your nails, but take my word for it. So it's similar with the mud will actually stick to their toenails and then dry and stay there. You'll get all sorts of different colored. The elephants in Savo are red color from the dirt and the sand that surrounds them. So it's really dependent on the environment. Lots of things, of course, are dependent upon their environment, including whether or not lions succeed when it comes to a hunt. It's been an exciting morning for Pat. Let's go and see how he feels.
By jingos, that was amazing. I'm still trying to calm myself after that incredible sighting. It's a bit of a bittersweet type of ending to that. The lions didn't get their food, but the buffalo did make an escape. No matter what way you choose to look at it, that was awesome. That was what we were kind of after as well. We weren't sure whether they were going to relocate Butternut or go on a hunt, but once they saw the buffalo, it was pretty certain what they were going to do. Everybody was saying, I think I heard that right, that everyone's saying that it was a sick drive this morning. Sounds like something I would have said, but it has been an incredible drive this morning between the herbivores and the carnivores, elephants and lions. So cool. So cool. So well done to Trisharlotte and Jamie down in Juma. Thank you both for bringing us some epic content today. Thank you also to the Owino Pride and the Buffalo for putting on that awesome awesome show for us. So we are probably going to stay with these guys to see if they do decide to go out again. But it is time to say goodbye to you all. Thank you so much, Manu. Thank you so much, Kirsty. And thank you, Jamie and Trishala down in Juma. Absolutely incredible drive. If it wasn't enough for you, we'll have another drive this afternoon at 4 p.m. Central African time. We hope that you can join us all then. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you later on.